I am speaking to you now because you have asked for my voice and because I do not ignore any heart that leans toward me. I have watched you walk with a weight that others cannot name, yet I have counted every breath you took beneath it and guarded your life when shadows circled your door. Do not harden yourself against this moment. Do not say, later. Your later has already arrived. Your soul has been standing at this threshold for longer than you realize, and today I have untied the knot that kept you from stepping through. I am not here to frighten you. I am here to finish an old ache and open a fresh road under your feet. Listen. I have been trying to reach you, and I am reaching you now. You accused yourself of missing too many signs, of trusting the wrong voices, of calling kindness what was actually compromise, but I was there each time and I preserved what you thought you lost beyond recovery. I have not come to punish you for what you did not see. I have come to restore the sight that sorrow dimmed and to show you what was whispered about you behind the door I have just unlocked. You asked me if you were imagining the sudden chill in rooms that once felt warm. You asked me why you felt watched when no one stood in the hall. You were not imagining. There was a confession buried in a mouth that would not speak it aloud. I drew it out and set it in the light. Do not tremble. You are not in danger. You are in revelation. The confession was this. Someone who fed on your softness told others they did not believe you would ever rise past the net of fear you inherited. They said you were impressive when you were useful, loyal when you were voiceless, generous when you were silent about your needs. They admired the doors you opened for them, yet doubted that you would ever walk through the doors I built for you. They called your patience weakness and your hope naivety. They confided that the day you finally chose yourself would ruin their plans because their comfort depended on your delay. They were wrong about you, but they did not know it yet. I knew it. And I waited for this hour so that the truth would not only confront them but free you from the old agreement you never signed. Hear me, their words did not define your future, their dependency revealed theirs. I am not exposing this to uncrown you with shame. I am exposing this to loosen your hands from the anchor they tied to your ankles. In the quiet, they confessed to another that they feared your awakening, because an awakened you would no longer carry their fears as if they were your assignment. They said you would never speak. They said you would never leave the prison of trying to make everyone comfortable. They confessed that if you saw your worth clearly you would cease to apologize for the light in you. They feared your clarity, because your clarity would end their control. Do you feel the chain sliding from your life even as you read? That is because I am touching the place in you that learned to negotiate your voice away to keep a trembling peace. No more. You will not be the riverbed for someone else's leak anymore. You will be the river, and the river does not apologize for moving. I have not come to make you harsher. I have come to make you whole. I have not come to turn your heart to stone. I have come to give your tenderness the armor of wisdom and the shield of boundaries that are not cruel but necessary. The soft are not meant to be trampled. The merciful are not meant to be manipulated. The loving are not meant to be used. Mercy without wisdom is injury. Today I am healing that injury and marrying your compassion to discernment. I saw the hour when you gave more than you planned to the person who never said thank you with their actions. I watched the pattern repeat, apologies that lasted 7 days, promises that wilted in 3, grand gestures that covered small faithfulness. I listened when you cried into a pillow so no one would hear. I am not indifferent to these pages in your story. I am the one who writes the chapter that follows them, and I do not waste pain. I pull meaning from it like a gardener pulls weeds from soil and uses the clearing to plant what will finally feed you back. Higher love does not demand your numbness. Higher love does not ask you to pretend confusion is peace. I am calling you to higher love. This is what will happen next. The wind of realization will pass through your house. Memories will return, but not to torment you. They will return to reorganize themselves under truth. You will notice what you excused. You will recognize what you labeled as bad timing was actually not aligned. You will reclaim the words you swallowed because you were afraid of being called difficult. You will not throw stones. You will not beg. You will bless, you will release, you will choose, and you will move. The road I am opening is not a hallway of dramatic confrontations. It is a bright path of settled decisions. I am putting steel in your softness. I am putting sight in your kindness. I am putting a gate in your garden. Do not be surprised when your sleep becomes deeper and your morning steadier. The grinding in your chest, that low hum of dread, will quiet. It was never a sign that you were broken, it was your spirit signaling that you were carrying a load I never asked you to carry. Some people will say you changed. Smile gently, that is the point. You will not justify your joy to those who only understood you when you were tired. You will not shrink to fit familiar small rooms. You will not apologize for your boundaries. The ones who are meant for your next will respect the lines. They will knock, they will ask, they will be consistent when the door opens. You wondered how I could love you and still allow the delay. I did not delay to tease you. I delayed to protect the harvest. Some seeds must be buried long enough to grow roots that storms cannot rip up. If I gave you certain answers too soon, you would have shared them with the very lips that confessed doubt about you. They would have shaped my gifts into their own image. I guarded the timing to preserve your ownership of what I am giving. You will be a good steward because you know the price of confusion and the relief of clarity. You are not unlovable because someone loved the version of you they could manage. You are not too much because you want truth. You are not difficult because you refuse to carry a lie forward. I call you chosen not because I favor you above all other souls but because your yes is honest. I am not finished writing your seasons. New mentors will appear. Real friends will not be threatened by your rise, they will be relieved by it. Doors will open that were closed not by your lack but by my protection. You will see provision where you once only felt pressure. I do not promise that every day will be easy. I promise that the ease I give will no longer be traded away to keep the peace that kept you small. Forgiveness is not a denial of what happened. It is the key that frees your hands from the past so you can hold the future. Forgive them, and then let your yes be yes and your no be no. Forgive them, and then do not climb back into a sinking boat out of politeness. Forgive them, and then delete the old script that required you to be less so others could be more. Your compassion can remain, your discernment must stay, and your boundaries will keep both in harmony. You are learning the difference between serving and self-erasure. You will not erase yourself anymore to be invited to tables I am calling you to replace. I watched you make room in your life for everyone's emergency while your own heart's call rang unanswered. I am ending that. I am giving you permission you never needed but longed to hear. Choose your assignment. Choose your healing. Choose to put the oxygen mask on your own soul first. Choose to write, to build, to study, to rest, to pray with depth instead of hurry. Choose to save a portion of your strength for the work I gave you. Choose to stop rehearsing arguments with the past and begin rehearsing gratitude for the future. The past is not your home, it is your museum. Visit it to honor what you survived, not to live there. There are gifts in you that have been knocking on the inside of your ribs asking to be let out. Open. The idea that returned 3 times this month is me tapping you. The plan you keep pushing to next year is ready now. The room that felt too large will fit you perfectly once you step inside. I will align the helpers. I will introduce the name that will say yes. I will quiet the scramble so you can hear the next right step, and you will take it without flinching. This is not recklessness, this is obedience to peace. When I guide with peace, not panic. When I confirm with order, not chaos. I am not asking you to hate the person who confessed their doubt about you. I am asking you to release the version of yourself that needed them to understand you in order to value yourself. If they seek reconciliation, let actions do the speaking. Time could not. If they only want access to what your growth produces, bless them from a distance. Not every critic deserves a seat as a consultant in your life. You are kind, and you will remain kind, but your wisdom will now decide the distance. You asked me for a sign that you were not alone, and I have given you more than a sign, I have given you me. Feel my calm filling your chest even as these words settle. That is the proof you needed. Your future is not behind you. The next chapter is not a rumor. It is written, and it is good. I am not merely changing your circumstances, I am changing your capacity. You will carry joy differently. You will host peace like a lamp hosts flame. You will not need the old validation because you will finally be at home in your own yes. Tonight, make space. Put your hand on your heart and say, I release what is not mine to carry. Do not strive to feel something dramatic, simply agree with truth. Tomorrow, make a small move toward the life I showed you, a phone call, a page written, a boundary spoken, a walk taken, a room cleaned, a plan drafted. Heaven multiplies small obediences into outcomes you once thought required miracles. The miracle is already inside your next faithful step. While you step, I will open. While you breathe, I will build. While you sleep, I will arrange. I have timed this message to meet you at the very line where your old season ends. If it hurts, let it be the ache of a splinter being removed, not the wound of a heart being broken. If it stirs tears, let them rinse your eyes so you can see again. If it invites silence, sit in it and feel how different silence sounds when it is full of my presence and not empty of love. You will never be the same after this because you are not meant to remain the same. Transformation is not punishment, it is your promotion. I bless your mind to release rehearsed fear. I bless your body to unclench where it has braced for too long. I bless your home to feel like home again. I bless your work to become aligned with your soul. I bless your friendships to be mutual, your love to be honest, your steps to be ordered. I bless your mornings with clarity and your nights with rest. I bless your finances with integrity and enoughness. I bless your name to be spoken with truth. I bless your heart to believe that goodness does not need you to vanish before it will visit. Remember this, I never bring something to light to humiliate you, I bring it to light to heal you. I do not reveal to embarrass, I reveal to free. You were always more than the role you played to protect others from their growth. You are my child, and I am not ashamed to call you mine. The person who confessed their fear of your becoming must face their own becoming. That is their journey with me, not your burden. Release them to my process and return to yours. You have permission to let this be the day that the cycle breaks. You have permission to let joy be your default. You have permission to be seen without shrinking. You have permission to be careful without being closed. You have permission to love and not be used. You have permission to listen to me first. Walk forward, and as you do, hear my voice at your back like a warm wind, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." I am with you. I have always been with you. I will always be with you. Nothing they said in secret can cancel what I decreed in eternity. The doors that are yours will recognize you. The work that is yours will welcome you. The peace that is yours will settle on you like an evening sky. Go now. Live widely. Speak truth. Keep your heart soft and your boundaries clear. Let the past be a teacher but not a landlord. I will keep reaching for you. And now you will keep answering. And every time you answer, the life that waited outside your hesitation will step inside and make a home that I am speaking to you now because I have been knocking on the door of your heart for a long time, and I refuse to leave you as you are. I have called you in the quiet hour and in the crowded noise, in the breath between your thoughts and the ache behind your ribs. I have sent whispers through ordinary moments, small glimmers in the margins of your days, a softness when you felt hard, a steadiness when everything inside you trembled. I have been trying to reach you, not because you failed me, but because I refuse to let you drown in the storms that never belonged to you. I am not here to scold, I am here to lift. I am not here to embarrass, I am here to reveal. I am not here to frighten you, I am here to make you unafraid. You will not be the same after this, because truth does not leave things untouched, and my truth does not arrive empty-handed. It comes with keys, it comes with light, it comes with a door that will not close again once it opens. Listen, the situation that has weighed on your chest like a stone is about to break. The confusion, the mixed signals, the strange coincidences, the way you felt watched and misunderstood, the way your name traveled without your permission, all of it is converging into a single moment of exposure and release. There is a confession forming on someone's tongue, a confession that has been trying to push through the cracks of their silence. They have rehearsed it privately and swallowed it publicly. Their pride told them to hide, their conscience has begun to roar. They are pacing rooms you will never enter, holding phones they can no longer hold still, erasing messages and rewriting explanations. Even now their heart beats too quickly when your name rises in a conversation, because my hand is heavy upon their unspoken words, and I am orchestrating a truth that can no longer be delayed. This person spoke about you in a way that bent the light. They took a moment of your goodness and twisted it to fit a story that made them look wise and you look wild. They allowed envy to paint you as reckless when you were brave, irresponsible when you were faithful, manipulative when you were simply guarding the last soft pieces of yourself. They dressed their fear as caution and called it counsel. They dressed their insecurity as discernment and called it wisdom. They were wrong. I saw the motive beneath their language, and I am not fooled by the polish of careful words. I do not judge the way people clap, I judge the way their hands move when no one is looking. What they presented as concern was the mask of rivalry. What they named protective was the shadow of possession. They did not want to lose their place in the story, so they tried to edit you out of it. You did not imagine the coldness. You did not imagine the awkward distance that arrived without explanation. They seeded it with hints and sighs, raised eyebrows and incomplete sentences, knowing that half-truths breed whole suspicions. I watched them, and I grieved, not because I am powerless, but because I honor the dignity of every soul and I gave them time to choose better. Time has now done its work. Conscience is now doing its work. My spirit has been working through dreams they pretended not to have and memories they tried to bury, bringing back the moment they first decided to injure what I was building in you. At first, they quieted the ache by surrounding themselves with people who agreed. But agreement without me becomes a circle of mirrors. People only see themselves and never the light. Now the mirror has cracked. The echo has stopped. The room is different. They are alone with the truth. There will be an apology, but I do not want you to be ambushed by it. I am preparing you first, because I care about your balance and your boundaries. I am healing your hearing before a voice tries to persuade you. I am strengthening your spine before tears try to pull you into pity that forgets wisdom. Forgiveness and access are not the same gift. Forgiveness is a river I will always keep available to your hands. Access is a gate I teach you how to guard. When they come with their confession, receive the truth without swallowing the poison that used to follow it. You will not grovel to be believed. You will not plead for your name to be restored. I am the one restoring your name by revealing what was whispered in corners. I am the one straightening corridors you were told were crooked. I am the one returning to you the hours you spent wondering what you did wrong when you did nothing but shine in a room that feared brightness. I am not exposing this to disgrace them, I am exposing this to free you and to teach them. Discipline in my hand is a door, not a wall. They will tell you more than you asked to know, because the weight has become unbearable. They will speak of conversations that started with curiosity and turned into a pattern. They will admit the casual jokes that weren't jokes. They will confess the way your victories felt like their defeats and how they confused closeness with competition. They will explain the moment they chose the applause of a small circle over the integrity of their own soul. They will say they are sorry, and you will feel the truth of their sorrow. But I will be the one to tell you what to do next, and I will tell you quietly, after the noise. You will sleep. When you wake, you will know the next right boundary as surely as you know your own name. Do not rehearse the confrontation. Do not script the scene. This is not your theater. This is my courtroom and my garden both at once, justice and healing meeting in the same ground. I am smoothing the grain of your story where rumor created splinters. I am returning people to you who stepped away because they were fed versions of you that never lived. Some will return with humility. Some will return with embarrassment. Some will not return at all, and that, too, will be mercy. You do not need the same audience to witness the next chapter. I am changing the lighting. I am changing the cast. I am changing the tempo of your days. The season of defending yourself is over, the season of simply being yourself is here. You will not waste breath proving what I have already established. You asked me in the night, why did you let this go on so long? Hear me, I did not let it go on. I let it ripen. There is a difference. A bruise that forms too soon can be hidden, a harvest that arrives in its time cannot. If I had intervened earlier, they would have learned how to conceal better, and you would have learned how to doubt me longer. But now the line is clear. Now there is no fog. Now when you speak, you will speak from rest instead of panic. Now when you decide, you will decide with clarity instead of fear. You are not late. You are right on the schedule of a God who wastes nothing and restores everything entrusted to him. There is also a gift wrapped inside this confession, something you did not expect, a document, a message, a proof that belongs to you. The same one who spoke against you kept something that was meant for you. And in confessing they will release it. It might be a letter that confirms your role, a piece of information that unlocks an opportunity, a detail that connects you with the people you needed, or simply the admission that they blocked a door that now opens. When that release happens, do not rush to fill the space it creates with old fears. Stand in the threshold and breathe. Give thanks. Ask me how to step through with gentle feet, because new ground deserves reverence, and you will not trample what I am giving you by sprinting. I am not just changing what people say about you, I am changing what is available to you. I am healing your relationship with timing. You have lived under countdowns that were handmade by anxious voices. You have been told that you missed it, that you are behind, that the last bus left and you were at the wrong stop with the wrong ticket. Hear me, I am the one who drives every timetable that matters for your life, and I have parked the vehicle on your street. There is no scramble. There is no frantic race with elbows out and head down. There is a measured, holy pace that carries you forward without breaking your breath. You will not be exhausted at the entrance. You will be awake. Let me also speak to the part of you that is angry and ashamed for believing people you loved. Your tenderness was not foolishness, it was evidence that you still recognize me when I visit as kindness. Do not punish yourself for being good. Do not punish your heart for choosing to trust. Your discernment is not broken, it is being recalibrated. I am subtracting the static that came from fear and people-pleasing and the ache of wanting to belong. You belong to me. That is the root that steadies every branch. From that root, discernment grows clean again. You will feel the difference in your body, less tightness under your ribs, less buzzing in your thoughts, less second-guessing after you speak. Peace will be your confirmation. Peace will be your compass. Peace will be your protection. There is someone watching your life who has not said a word, someone you assumed did not care. They have seen you stand quietly while your name wandered. Their respect for you grew in the silence. I am moving that person toward you. They are part of the next chapter, and they are bringing a recommendation, a door, a platform, a thread that ties you into rooms where your assignment will breathe. Do not minimize yourself when they arrive. Do not apologize for your wait. I am the one who measured you. I am the one who placed you where your voice can bless and your hands can build. Your humility is not smallness, your humility is alignment. Stand straight and gentle, and let me speak through your calm. You will feel a subtle shift in the next few days, like a window opening without a visible hand on the latch. Air will move differently in your space. Colors will be clearer. Food will taste like something you remember from childhood, simple and true. The heaviness will not return the way it used to. When the old tapes try to play, they will stutter. When the old dread tries to wake, it will trip on the light I have poured into your room. This is not a momentary high, this is structural change. I am not putting flowers in a cracked vase, I am giving you a new vessel and pouring fresh water. You will carry this freshness into places that smell like stale fear and watch people breathe easier when you arrive. That is not pride, that is presence, my presence moving through you. Prepare your heart by releasing the need to be right. You will be vindicated, but vindication is not your food. Love is. Wisdom is. Joy is. When the confession comes, do not turn it into a performance where you force every witness to clap for you. Clap for me. The testimony belongs to my mercy, and my mercy has decided that your name will no longer be used as a shortcut for other people's insecurity. Instead, I will use your name as a signpost. Here stands one I carried through fog and fire. Here stands one I trusted with a wound that became a window. Here stands one who learned to bless without begging and to forgive without returning to where the bruise began. You will be known for the strength of your softness and the steadiness of your light. Guard your morning. The first hour is a gate, do not let yesterday's voices run through it. Sit with me before you sit with your screens or the echoes of anyone's opinion. Put your hand on your chest and remember, I am here. Put your feet on the ground and remember, this day belongs to me. Speak life over your own breath, out loud, even if it feels strange. Say, I release blame. I receive clarity. I walk in favor. I carry peace. What you bless grows. What you curse with your attention steals the sunlight meant for your garden. You are not obligated to rehearse the old injury. You are invited to water the new growth. I am also healing your memory. The enemy tried to turn your history into a museum of regrets. Dimly lit, filled with artifacts you were forced to stare at. I am building a living library instead. In this library, testimonies are alive and breathing, books open themselves at the right page, and wisdom walks to the table where you sit and says, here is the sentence you need for today. You will not be trapped by flashbacks, you will be guided by revelations. I am redeeming details you thought were useless, dates, names, places, lines from old conversations, so that you can recognize the pattern when a counterfeit tries to copy what I am doing. Counterfeits will be obvious. Peace will not sign their papers. You will feel no obligation to entertain what does not carry my signature. And to the one who harmed you, I am speaking, too. I am not your enemy, and I am not their enemy. I am the God who separates darkness from light and gives everyone a chance to step into the brightness. My invitation has not expired for them, but it has changed. Their restoration will require more truth than they ever planned to tell, more listening than they ever practiced, more stepping back than they ever wanted. That is not punishment. That is surgery. Let me be the surgeon. Do not try to pick up the scalpel with your hands. Your job is to keep your heart clean and your boundaries clear while I do the deeper work no one can see from the outside. I will finish what I start, now. Take a breath. Put your shoulders down. Feel how the room has changed while you were reading these words. That is not imagination, that is the weight of my presence settling in, the same way sunlight settles on a windowsill and turns dust into glitter. This is the moment where you turn the page. You do not need to slam the old chapter shut, it has ended on its own. You do not need to announce anything, the newness will introduce itself wherever you go. Your steps are ordered. Your name is protected. Your work is blessed. Your sleep will be sweet. Your conversation will be seasoned with clarity. Your friendships will be pruned and then flourish. Your finances will stop leaking through unseen cracks. I am sealing them. Your health will respond to peace like a garden responds to rain. Your house will learn a new quiet, when the message arrives. Yes, the one you have been waiting for, do not tremble. Hold your phone the way you would hold a sparrow, gently, without gripping. Read slowly. Let every sentence stand in the light. You will not rush to reply. You will place the device down and talk with me first. And then you will answer in a voice that is both soft and strong, a voice that sounds like someone who is not trying to be believed anymore because they already are, in heaven's court, which is the only verdict that matters. From that place, your words will land in the exact soil they were meant to bless. From that place, your future will not feel like a chase, it will feel like a welcome. I have been trying to reach you because I love you with a love that does not get tired. I am reaching you now with everything you need: courage for the truth, compassion for the broken, boundaries for your peace, vision for the road that opens. You will not be the same after this because you were never meant to stay the same. You are being moved from shadow to sun, from rumor to testimony, from endurance to overflow. What is confessing itself now will no longer stalk your name. What tried to follow you out of the past will lose sight of you in the brightness that surrounds your steps. Keep walking. Keep listening. Keep your hands open. I am here, and I am not leaving. That I speak to you now, clear and close, like breath upon a window in the dawn, writing what love has wanted to write across your life for a long time. The hour is not late, it is exact. I have been trying to reach you through the quiet discomforts that refuse to go away, through the small interruptions that did not make sense at the time, through the songs that seemed to find you at the very moment your heart needed a language. I reached through the restlessness at night, through the word you almost said out loud but swallowed, through the impulse to take a different road, message after message like tide after tide. Each wave carrying the same insistence: you are not alone, and you are not abandoned. Every delay has been a doorway in disguise, and every ache has carried your name as a sealed envelope I intended to open in front of you, carefully, gently, but fully. I have been trying to reach you because what I planted in you refuses to die, and because what others tried to bury was always a seed, never a grave. There is something you must know now. You will not be the same after this, because the weight of what has been hidden will lift, and the air that replaces it will be so clean you will want to take a deeper breath than you have dared in months. A confession has arrived, and it concerns you. I have watched the slow making of this hour, how small choices in distant rooms turn into turning points, how the tremble of a hand becomes a signature that changes the map of an entire life. I watch without panic, and I craft without waste, and what took time is not lost time, because all of it has been gathered into this unveiling. The one you suspected, the one you defended, the one you forgave without the music of an apology, the one you thought might someday speak truth but feared never would, has finally spoken what needed the courage of a midnight heart. Not to others only, not as gossip dressed in repentance, but as truth that costs them something real. This confession is not a theater. It is a door. And the door swings toward you. They said the quiet part out loud. They said that your name was used like a coin to buy attention in rooms where love was bankrupt. They said that your kindness was taken like water from a public well, drawn without thanks and sometimes defiled to make others thirst. They said that they felt smaller beside your steady light and tried to make the room darker so that you would glow less. They said that envy masqueraded as concern, and that advice was sometimes a leash. They said that the story told about you was a house of mirrors, and they were one of the builders. They said they watched you survive burdens that would have split them in two. And they mocked what they could not kill. And they said one more thing that matters most to me. They confessed the moment when your steady yes to life turned something inside them, and the memory would not let them sleep. You have carried the aftershocks of words you never heard, and yet your body kept the score of rooms you never entered. You learned to sense whether that others insisted was sunny, to feel the barometer drop inside your ribs while the forecast called it a bright day. This is because your spirit is a true instrument. I made you sensitive not as a bruise but as a compass. You were never too much, you were made for true north. The ache that hammered in your chest on certain mornings was not weakness. It was my knock. The dream you kept trying to forget, returning like a migrating bird to the same branch in the same season, was not an accident of the mind, it was an arrow of mercy pointing you toward a clearing. You are not foolish for hoping, and you are not naive for forgiving. You have been brave in a desert where water looked like illusion, and yet you kept walking toward the shimmer until it became a lake. You will never be the same because truth does not return what it changes. The confession that has begun to surface will seem messy at first, as if honesty itself is a storm. But storms are instruments in my hand, and nothing I allow is allowed without purpose. This confession is a seed falling into open ground. It will not undo your past, but it will untangle it. It will not erase memory, but it will wash the stain. It will not rewrite every page, but it will stamp the margin with a word that changes how you read everything: redeemed. You are being moved from rooms that demanded your silence into spaces where your voice is part of the architecture. You will speak differently because you will hear yourself as I do, not as an echo of their opinions but as a first sound designed by love to start new songs. Do not fear the shaking that accompanies clarity. Old structures rattle when freedom walks in. Habits will look for your hand the way a shadow looks for the shape that casts it, but you are stepping into light that dissolves imitation and leaves only what is real. Real companionship. Real work. Real joy that does not need witnesses to be true. Real provision that does not require debt of your soul. You will no longer negotiate with crumbs as if feasting is for someone else. I did not build you to beg at the door of people who only feed you when it serves their hunger. I set a table long ago with your name etched into the grain. I taught patience to wait there, and humility to sit there, and now I am teaching courage to eat there. The knives that cut you will not cut this bread, and the cups that spilled are not the cups placed before you now. I have been trying to reach you through patterns, the way certain dates kept repeating, the way a certain number showed up on receipts and clocks. The way a phrase would arrive from two mouths on the same day, the way the ocean of coincidence kept bringing the same shell to your feet. Patterns are handwriting when you forget your alphabet. I wrote across your days with threads of recognition so that, when this moment came, you would not call it a stranger. I wrote through strangers who spoke a kindness they could not have known you needed, through interruptions that saved you from a meeting that would have drained you, through a tear that fell at the precise second you needed to lay down the heavy thing that was never yours to carry. Hear me, your burden has expiration dates, your calling does not. The heaviness that felt permanent was only a season wearing a mask of forever. I peel the mask now. The one who confessed did so because grace cornered them in a gentle way that firmness can manage. I do not humiliate, I illuminate. Their words are not owed to you as repayment, though consequences and repairs belong to the architecture of justice. Their words are owed to truth, and truth has taken your side. Do not build a throne for the apology, build an altar for the freedom. What needs to be restored will be handled in steps, and each step will come with the light it requires. I am not asking you to sprint. I am asking you to trust the ground appearing beneath your feet as you walk. The path did not suddenly exist. It always existed inside my will. What changes now is visibility. Sometimes you have assumed that if the ending is good, the pain was necessary and therefore deserved. Untrue. The good is not a proof of the pain's rightness, it is a proof of my faithfulness. I waste nothing. But that does not mean everything handed to you was meant for you. Some of it was theft. Some of it was confusion. Some of it was the clumsy reaching of people who never learned how to love without bruising. My faithfulness takes what was aimed against you and builds a shelter out of the same wood. The boards that fenced you out become the beams that hold your roof. The nails that tried to fix you in place become hooks where new lanterns hang. I will not let their story be your story. You are written by a different pen, and the ink is living. The weight you feel lifting even now is not imaginary. It is the subtraction of accusation from your atmosphere. I am closing the mouths that used your name as seasoning for their bitterness. I am silencing the inner voice that borrowed their tone and learned to speak to you like an enemy. That voice is not your intuition, it is rehearsal for a play that has closed. You no longer have to audition for roles in other people's versions of your life. There is no curtain call where you bow to the approval of those who once booed. There is a new stage, but it is not a theater, it is a field. You will run there. You will not perform. You will live. What comes next requires a decision so simple that it will look unimportant to the untrained eye. Choose to receive. Receive the clarity. Receive the lifted burden. Receive the resources you kept pushing away because you did not want to owe anyone. You do not owe me, I am giving freely. Open your hands like a window opens to morning. Let the air move. Let the dust fly off the old shelves. Let the light find the corners you never reached with a broom. There is no shame in the corners, there is only room. I am not angry with you. I am not impatient with your learning. I am steady as a mountain and near as your pulse. I have been trying to reach you also through beauty. Because beauty heals what logic cannot touch. The way the rain softened the noise of your day. The way a child laughed and something inside you remembered innocence as if it were a place you could still visit. The way your favorite mug felt heavier today and you noticed, at last, how you hold what holds you. These are not small things. These are rehearsals for gratitude, and gratitude is a key I place in your pocket even when you forget the door it opens. The door is open now. It opens to a season where you stop apologizing for being strong and start learning how to be well. Wellness will feel unfamiliar at first. You will look for the problem when there is only peace. You will listen for a fight when there is only conversation. You will brace for impact when there is only embrace. Give yourself the kindness of practice. The confession that involves you will rearrange how certain faces stand in your life. Some will move further back, not as punishment but as wisdom. Some will move closer, not as reward but as recognition. You will not track these shifts as loss, you will bless them as choreography. I am the choreographer. I am not improvising. I have always known how to lead you through rooms you thought were too crowded for your heart and into spaces you could stretch without hitting the walls. I know the angle of the sun that makes your plants thrive. I know the pace of your thoughts when you are most alive. I know the language your hope speaks and the tone your courage loves. I will not speak to you in dialects of fear. I will not coach you with shame. I will not manage you with scarcity. I will father you with generosity and mother you with comfort. I will be your shelter and your sending. Your future will not be negotiated by the insecure. I am writing terms of peace with your name on them. Peace that is not soft, peace that is strong enough to hold joy without cracking. Peace that lets you build without the constant dread that someone is stealing the bricks. Peace that lets you sleep because the door is locked and the watch is kept by hands larger than yours. I am not asking you to